evening, sports fans. In the words of Ches Caliton Calao, Monday na naman. We've got NBA playoff seedings finally made official as the regular season comes to a close. Plus, Rory McIlroy winning the Masters to complete a career Grand Slam.
And in UAAP volleyball, a couple of upsets in the women's side highlight a full weekend of games as the race to the Final Four reaches its home stretch.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Ches Caliton Calao.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy leaves Philip. Victor Moves puts it out. Unbelievable. Gemma on the left side. Bakulas rejecting Esteban for the
Well, folks, the NBA 2024-2025 regular season has come to a close.
Puyatan na naman. But the fun is just getting started with the postseason on deck. Woo. Here are the brackets for the play-in and the playoffs. Let's start with the West. The 9th-seeded Sacramento Kings take on the 10th-seeded Dallas Mavericks for a chance to move up to the 8th spot. 7th-seed Golden State Warriors and 8th-seed Memphis Grizzlies will go head-to-head to determine who secures the 7th seed in the playoffs. The loser of that matchup plays the winner of the Kings-Mavs game to determine who gets the 8th seed. Are you still with us? Waiting for the 8th seed are the league-leading Oklahoma City Thunder, while the 7th seed will face the 2-seed Houston Rockets. The matchups are set for the 3rd to the 6th seeds. The LA Lakers face the Minnesota Timberwolves, while the Denver Nuggets will battle the LA Clippers.
Well, if you were lost there, well, hopefully you stay with us here. There's more. Here, let's go to the Eastern Conference, as you can see on your screens, so you can also stay with us here. The winner between the 9th seeded, the Chicago Bulls, and the 10th seeded, the Miami Heat, will advance and play the loser between the 7th place, the Orlando Magic, and the 8th seed, the Atlanta Hawks. Waiting for the 8th seed, whoever gets it, will be the Cleveland Cavaliers, number 1 in the East all season long. Then the Boston Celtics will begin their title defense when they take on the eventual 7th seed. The number 3 seed, the New York Knicks, will take on the much-improved 6th-seeded Detroit Pistons. That will be an interesting matchup. While the number 4 seed, the Indiana Pacers, will have home court as they take on the 5th seed, the Milwaukee Bucks. The play-in tournament will begin on Wednesday, April 16, Philippine time, and will go on until April 19. The actual playoffs will start on April 20. Again, that will be Philippine time.
Playoff seedings, especially in the Wild Wild West, weren't determined until the regular season wrapped up today. The wildest finish, the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Golden State Warriors. The two teams gave us a classic, with the Clips pulling off a 124-119 victory in overtime. The action went back and forth in regulation, which ended with Kawhi Leonard missing a potential game winner. But in the extra period, the Dubs weren't as lucky as James Harden came up clutch in the final 5 minutes. The Beard finished with 39 points and 10 assists. The Claw added 33 markers on 13 of 20 shooting. Clips rising big man Ivica Zubac made significant impact as well with his 22 points and 17 rebounds. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler showed out for the Bay, scoring 36 and 30 respectively. Draymond Green had 14 points, but bricked an open layup that would have tied the score in the final 26 seconds. The Clippers finished the regular season with 50 wins and 32 losses. The Warriors have 48 victories and 34 defeats. Here's Golden State head coach Steve Kerr reflecting on their slugfest with LA.
Big-time basketball game. I mean, that's one of the best teams in the NBA, and so are we. That's how I look at it. Great game. High-level stuff. Stars being stars. We came up short, but not for a lack of effort. A lot of great execution. A lot of stuff that was very impressive. But we couldn't quite pull it up.
Meantime, the Denver Nuggets avoid the play-in by taking care of business against a Houston Rockets team that was already assured of the West second seed. The Nuggets secured the number 4th seed in the West and first-round home court advantage by dominating H-Town 126-111. Denver unleashed a balanced attack to take command in the first 3 quarters. They're already up by 33 with 9 minutes still left, prompting Houston to eventually wave the white flag and pull out its starters. Michael Porter Jr. fired 19 points, while Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic had 18 apiece. Fred VanVleet and Amen Thompson each finished with 15 markers to lead the Rockets in a losing cause. The Rockets end the regular season with 52 wins and 30 losses, their first winning campaign since 2020. The Nuggets, meanwhile, have a final tally of 50 victories and 32 setbacks. Here's a Joker sharing his thoughts after his squad's huge win.
We showed up, we were aggressive. I think we controlled the game. We scored 55 points in the first half, so I think we set the tone and we're kind of playing the right way.
Yeah, you set the tone in that first quarter. How did you do it? 14 of your 18 points to start.
I made 3 threes, so it's easier when you make shots.
The way you finished this regular season with 3 wins in a row, the basketball you're playing right now, how would you compare it to where you want to be?
I mean, now this is it. This is what we are. I think when if we play like this, we can go long in the playoffs.
The Minnesota Timberwolves also escaped the play-in with a win over the Utah Jazz. The Wolves did have some trouble with the cellar-dwelling Jazz in the first half, but Anthony Edwards came alive in the third quarter to save the day. The Ant-Man scored 18 of his game-high 43 points in the penultimate period, and Mini held on for the 116-105 victory. Edwards drained a total of 7 threes to become the youngest player in NBA history to lead the league in three-pointers with 320 this season. Rudy Gobert provided muscle in the paint and 19 markers and 18 rebounds against his former team. The Jazz end up at the very bottom of the overall standings with a franchise worst record, 17 wins and 65 losses. The Wolves have 49 victories and 33 setbacks. After the game, Edwards summed up his squad's roller coaster ride this season.
I mean, it was super important because 4 weeks ago, we all thought we were going to be in a play-in for sure. We just knew it was going to happen. So, we didn't know the possibilities and the outcomes, but, eventually it showed, and we was able to handle it, just be myself, try to take the game over. Luckily, my shots was falling, because if it wasn't, it probably would have got ugly. So, by the grace of God, I appreciate him for helping me with my shots.
Well, the last game day of the NBA's regular season featured a full slate.
Here are the results of 12 other games, mostly non-bearing. Pat Connaughton closes the regular season with a career-high 43 points to push the Milwaukee Bucks past the Detroit Pistons 140-133. The Chicago Bulls warm up for the play-in with a 122-102 win over the Philadelphia 76ers. The Washington Wizards end their season on a good note after beating the Miami Heat 119-118 on the back of Bub Carrington's game winner. The Indiana Pacers rally for a 126-118 victory in double overtime over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Landry Shamet has 29 points as the New York Knicks fend off the Brooklyn Nets 113-105. With all starters out, Peyton Pritchard takes over in the Boston Celtics 93-86 dub over the Charlotte Hornets.
Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks defeat the Orlando Magic 117-105 in a prelude of their play-in matchup on Wednesday. The Sacramento Kings beat the already eliminated Phoenix Suns 109-98. The Portland Trailblazers get a 109-81 win over the LA Lakers, who rested 8 rotation players. Stephon Castle and the San Antonio Spurs take down the Toronto Raptors in their season finale, 125-118. The league-leading Oklahoma City Thunder get win number 68 by shooting down the New Orleans Pelicans 115-100. And lastly, the Memphis Grizzlies rolled to a 132-97 blowout of the Dallas Mavericks. From the hardcourt, let's go to the Tariflex. It's coming your way. The final forecast of the UAAP Season 87 Men's Volleyball Tournament is now complete. A look into the games over the weekend when play-by-play returns only here on One News. Welcome back to Play-by-Play only here on One News. Phoenix Field Masters head coach Jamike Harin credits his team for pulling themselves together after falling into an early hole in the PBA Philippine Cup. Harin says the team has been doing all the right things, like going the extra mile in practice, but just couldn't break through. Phoenix was finally able to stop a short two-game slide by beating no less than the defending champions, the Meralco Bolts, 109-97. Harin says the formula was simple: have fun on the court. Richie Rivero was at the forefront of their first victory, leading Phoenix to an early lead that they never gave up. Rivero finishing with a career-high 20 markers, 14 coming in the first quarter. Tyler Teo provided the finishing touches with a game-high 22 markers. The Field Masters' aggressiveness also led to a whopping 40 free throws out of 51 total attempts. The win coincided with the return of forward Jason Perkins, who had missed the first two games due to an illness. Perk wound up with 19 points and 5 boards. Here's Coach Jamike talking about the different approach to this particular game.
Probably we were just pressuring ourselves too much. Na I'm doing all the work. How come I'm not making my shots? How come I'm making bad decisions? So we all just gathered together and had fun and played our game and stayed together. So a lot of credit goes to all the coaches and especially to all the players and management.
As for the Converge Fiber Xers, head coach Franco Atienza emphasizes building the team's defensive identity. Atienza says this would help the team get to the next level and compete with better squads. The Fiber Xers are coming off their 111-80 blowout of the Blackwater Bossing last night. Converge's efficient defense held the Bossing to just 34% from the field. This was greatly felt by Blackwater's two number 2 picks, Cedric Bearfield and Christian David. Bearfield had 5 points while David had none. Converge had been busy to start the new conference, having already played 4 games and winning 2 of those. Here's Atienza talking about reinventing the team.
We know we will get our shots, but if we want to be a contender, if we want to be a contender, we have to tighten up on our defense. However cliche it may sound, you win games with offense, pero if you want to go deep, yung defense should be there. So just proud of the guys. We limited them to 80 points. We want to have that identity of defensive identity. At the end of the day, you would have an off night on offense, pero sa defense, kailangan isipag. You control that That's one thing you can control. So we want to control that.
For the third consecutive season, the same teams make up the Final Four in UAAP men's volleyball. Find out which teams completed the cast over the weekend in this report. The DLSU Green Spikers head to the Final Four in dramatic fashion. LaSalle punched its ticket after a hard-fought 5-set victory over the UP Fighting Maroons. 11-25, 25-18, 25-21, 28-30, and 15-9. Graduating Spiker Noel Campton rose to the occasion for the Green Spikers once again, tallying 24 points, 15 excellent receptions, and 5 excellent digs. With 8 wins, 4 losses, and 2 games left to play, LaSalle will now fight for seeding in the semis. The already eliminated UP drops to 3 victories and 9 defeats for the season.
Siguro wala muna kami focus sa Final Four ngayon. Siguro itong next game namin versus Adamson and FU, paghandaan pa namin kasi para yun yung papunta. Para pagdating ng Final Four, nandun na yung rhythm namin. So hopefully, yun. Sa Final Four, ito munang the last 2 games muna yung focus namin.
With a soft dip there.
The USD Golden Spikers are also advancing to the Final Four after making quick work of the UE Red Warriors 25-20, 25-17, and 25-20. Reigning MVP Josh Ibanez continues to make up for his injury absence in the first round. He finished with 15 points, 9 excellent receptions, and 6 excellent digs. USD is tied with LaSalle at 8-4, while UE remains winless with 1 game left in their schedule. As for the NU Bulldogs, they claim the last twice to beat bonus in the Final Four after knocking out the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Another straight sets match here, 30-28, 25-23, and 25-16 in favor of the defending champs. Boots Budin led the way with 15 points to go with 8 excellent receptions and 7 excellent digs. NU has won 5 games in a row, rising to an 11-2 record. Ateneo's down to 6-7 and will once again miss the Final Four.
Hindi naman porket ba nakuha na namin yung Final Four is hindi na kami gagalaw. Sa amin kasi mas continue pa, mas kakailangan namin yung panalo na yun pagdating sa kasi mas mag-a-add sa amin ng kumpiyansa pagdating sa semifinals yun. Pero sa akin siguro magpahinga lang kami. Then trabaho ulit kung ano yung mga kailangan naming adjust pa.
As well.
And lastly, the league-leading FEU Tamaraos strengthened their hold on the top seed after sweeping the Adamson Soaring Falcons, 25-16, 25-16, and 25-22. Trick Saavedra and Amit Bitiun put up 13 points apiece for the Taps. FEU heads into the Holy Week break with a 12-1 record, while Adamson falls to 2-10. After the break, we head on over to the women's side. There, the Final Four race remains wide open after several upsets over the weekend. Find out the results when play-by-play returns.
You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. Welcome back. It's looking like the Final Four race in the UAAP Season 87 Women's Volleyball Tournament will go down to the wire. That's because of a couple of upsets over the weekend. Here's a recap of all the results. The UP Fighting Maroons are still alive in the race to the Final Four. With all their games now must-wins, the Fighting Maroons kept their semis bid going by scoring a huge 5-set upset over the DLSU Lady Spikers. Final score 26-24, 18-25, 19-25, 25-22, and 16-14. The win also snaps the Fighting Maroons' 6-year drought against the Lady Spikers. Joan Monares and Cassie Deering led the way with a combined 31 points. UP improves to 6-6 in the standings, while LaSalle drops to 8-4.
It has been always a dream ng team na makapasok sa Final Four. Sobrang tagal na ng last season na pumasok sa Final Four yung UP. So, yun yung gusto nating abutin na yun. Yun yung goal ng team ngayon for this season.
Meantime, the Adamson Lady Falcons play spoiler and stop the FEU Tamaraws from claiming a Final Four spot over the weekend. A 4-set stunner here in favor of the Lady Falcons, 14-25, 29-27, 25-22, and 25-22. Shaina Nitura made history once again by breaking the league's single-season scoring record. Nitura finished with 37 points, just one shy of her career high, to bring her season total to 314 points. That's 2 more than the previous record of 312 points set by none other than Alyssa Valdez in season 75. Adamson is already out of playoff contention, but it improved its record to 5-7. FEU slides to 8-5.
Pumako sa akin po talaga. Sobrang bonus niya, and thankful po talaga ako kay Lord na, alam mo yun, nabibigyan po ako ng opportunity na ganun. Hindi ko talaga alam kung ano mararamdaman ko pa, pero ang pinakamasaya ako is na nanalo po yun.
As for the UST Golden Tigresses, they've tied LaSalle and FEU in wins by making quick work of the winless UE Lady Warriors 25-19, 25-16, and 25-15. Kyla Cordora was hailed player of the game with 8 points, along with 7 excellent digs and 6 excellent receptions. UST is now also at 8-4. The Golden Tigresses, Lady Tamaraws, and Lady Spikers can all advance to the Final Four by getting one more win, or if the Fighting Maroons lose one of their last 2 matches. UE is down to 0-13, which means it has one last chance to claim a victory this season. And lastly, the Final Four-bound NU Lady Bulldogs get the first twice-to-beat advantage in the semis. That's after they claimed a dominant straight sets win over the Ateneo Blue Eagles 25-16, 25-15, and 25-21. Alyssa Solomon returned from her ankle sprain and fired 12 points to help NU lock in the #1 seed with an 11-2 win-loss record. The already eliminated Ateneo gets its 4th loss in a row and falls to 4-9 in the standings.
Happy Monday. We got top plays from the final game day of the NBA's regular season and tonight's highlight reel. Roll it. Let's start with the Wizards and the Heat here in South Beach. Take a look at Bob Carrington against Jaime Jaquez Jr. Somehow getting that one up and then using the glass for the win. One more time there. Behind his back against Kyle Anderson. And then 2 defenders. Josh Christopher tried to help. No. What a shot there for Bob Carrington. As Cheska mentioned earlier, basically no bearing game, but still, what a play, what a game from this kid. Bob Carrington with 15 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists as the Wiz beat the Heat 119-118 to put Jaquez's 41 points just down the drain. Okay, how about a great pass from an Asian, Japanese player, Yuki. Look at that. Nice. He got the steal, and then a former number 2 pick, Marvin Bagley there. Take a look at it again. Look at this, Kawamura with that. So steal, and then a la Kobe, remember back in the day? Behind his back, that guy really has the vision. Look at that. Perfect timing right there. Perfect place to Marvin Bagley for the finish. Oh, don't worry, kahit yung cameraman natin, nagulat dun sa play na yan. Nakita nyo naman. Kawamura with 12 points, 5 assists. Bagley at 25 points, 12 rebounds. The Grizzlies crush the Mavericks, 132-97. Ready tayo. Lastly, eto baka mapatumbling ka. Warriors. Tingnan natin. Look at Steph Curry, almost getting the ball. No, again, 3 Warriors. And look who's there. Derrick Jones Jr. dunking over Steph. Oh, man, what are you doing? Kawawa naman. But what a play there. Take a look again. Simmons against 3 white shirts, then finds a streaking DJJ for the finish. Nice pass from Ben Simmons to, oh, look at that. Oh, man. Posterized Steph Curry there. DJ. Derrick Jones Jr. finishing with just 3 points, but that right there, that gem right there, definitely a huge one against one of the greats, Steph Curry. Clippers, unfortunately, outlast the Warriors. It was a great game if he stayed tuned. Went into overtime, but final score 124-119 in favor of the Clips. The 5th-seeded Clippers will battle the number 4-seed Nuggets. That will be a great first round of the NBA playoffs in the Western Conference. The Warriors, meanwhile, fall to 7th and will face the 8th-seeded Grizz in the play-in. And remember, the Warriors are 0-3 in play-in situations. Exclamation point. What a way there. Right, Check? You like it?
Exclamation point. All right. Before we go, the 11-year chase is finally complete for Rory McIlroy. The 35-year-old golfer from Northern Ireland claims his long-awaited Masters trophy after emerging victorious against Justin Rose at Augusta National. With the 2 players tied at 11 under after 72 holes, it came down to a playoff on the par 4 18th hole. Rose narrowly missed his longer putt, while McIlroy drained a 2-footer for birdie and the title. With the win, McIlroy becomes the 6th golfer to have a career Grand Slam. He joins Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods as the only players to win all 4 majors.
Galing. Rory McIlroy, man.
11 years.
Yes. And I was showing you a video. Lucky my dad, if he's watching, I think he's probably still asleep, but Tito Ramon, I call him Tito Mon, my dad. No, he got to high five Rory McIlroy.
Sorry, what? You call your dad?
Yeah,
What?
and my mom, Tita Len. Hindi mo na makakalimutan, parents ko. What are the names of my parents?
Tito Ramon.
No, but congratulations to Rory
Yes.
McIlroy, my dad. Big fan of Rory McIlroy. That's all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Chaska Liton Calao. Thank you for watching. Happy Monday, everyone. Good night.